Now that house that is making me almost $7,000 a month gross rental income.
How does those experiences as being an immigrant, right? I can resonate. My mom was an immigrant.
It wasn't not exactly easy. I was speaking broken English, and nobody could really understand it. So I went home, I wrote out the contract, I sent it over. But guess what? Somebody already put in the contract. If you Google German roaches, it's a pretty scary thing.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Investor Deli Podcast, where we make the information the star. Guys, I created a merch store as well called the InvestorDeli.store. Go please support that. I'll have the QR link on the video. And like and subscribe the episode. And if you like yourself and you care about yourself and you like where you're going, the direction you're headed, please smash that like button, like I said, and share the video. Let's welcome to the stage Shinyi Telcher. How are you, Shinyi?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mando? Thanks for having me.
I'm awesome. Me and Shinyi been connecting dots, going back and forth, playing ping pong, playing seesaw.
I know, work emergency. I had to cancel you on last minute, but we roll with it.
And then how we figure it out, and then how we stay connected, and then we persevere, and voila, we're here. Shinyi, what's going on? How are you? Let's get into some of what is it you do, where you're at. Tell us a little bit about your backstory.
Sure. I am an immigrant. I was born and raised in Taiwan. I came to the United States in 2005 as an international student. And after that, I graduated from school. I went to graduate study and got my doctorate. Now I am a pharmacist by trade. I work as a pharmacist. I still work at my W-2 job. I work in a research institute to help, prepare and teach the doctor and nurses how to prepare the drug for mostly cancer patients. And some of them are some rare diseases, vaccine and all that stuff. So that's what I do as a day job. And on the side, I have a side gig, as you all do, as a real estate entrepreneur. We also invest on the side as a real estate investor.
It's very interesting. I was talking to you in regards to your day job and how you're like in the cutting edge of medicine, where you go from clinical trials to then
right. To the first thing, what we call like the first in human clinical trial, like a lot of drug, like imagine a lot of drug on the market, right? They have to go through FDA approval. It's a very lengthy process. In order for FDA to approve, to make sure this drug is effective and safe, you have to go through some trial. You have to go through some testing to test at the certain population to see if it's actually working, right? So my career is actually in the very first stage of the trial phase, when we were just first taking the drug that's first, what we call first in human, because the drug is being done in animal study and it's shown it's very effective. We're testing it the very first time on human. So a lot of these drugs are cutting edge therapy that you have not heard of. So most of our patient population were either cancer patient who has exhausted all other options on the market. They will come to us and we will treat them on some immunotherapy or modify, therapy that could help improve their disease, cure the disease, or at least improve their lifestyle, quality of life, so they can have a better quality of life with their family member. So that's what I do on the daily. And yesterday we have to cancel because we have some work emergency that we have to replace a lot of drug that we have because some, events that happen.
But it's super interesting to know that about you. Like I said, kind of where your daily work is at and how integral that part is. But we're here for you as being an investor, an entrepreneur, and kind of your other leg and what you do. This is the fun part. How does those experiences as being an immigrant, right? I can resonate. My mom was an immigrant, so she had a special type of a way about herself. I believe coming to a new place, foreign, and not knowing the language or the customs and the norms. How does those let's say that part of you interact with you being a real estate investor? And what was it that made you want to leap into that, right? Because
I really appreciate that question because you're an immigrant. You can probably understand that coming to this country, I came in legally and I applied through the legal process, go through the required steps that need to happen. to be able to become a citizen here. Now I'm a U.S. citizen here, United States. But when I first came over, it wasn't not exactly easy. I was speaking broken English, and nobody could really understand me. I just basically pick up a suitcase, came over by myself, alone, while all my other families are still in Taiwan. So I came here, study as a student. I work in the cafeteria. And came in as an immigrant, you don't have a lot of resources. Sometimes you have to be very creative, right? You have to think about, okay, how do I, earn some living to kind of help reduce my costs, all right? So I work a little bit in the school cafeteria because I was not allowed to work outside the campus, that would be illegal. So I work on campus, and then I try to save as much as I can. And I finished my school really fast because that's how you can say paying another year of tuition. So I finished that really fast and applied into pharmacy school. And that's when I moved into Maryland and finished that doctorate degree, and then start working as a pharmacist. And I started, meeting my husband during my last year of pharmacy school with the plan that, I was just going to finish my work and went home. But one thing led to another. Now we, got married, established my family here in the United States, live in Maryland. We start just, once you have family, you start thinking about how it's not just for you anymore, right? So I'm thinking about, I don't really want to work like day to day, 9 to 5 until when I retire. I want to be able to start a side business, build something, and save up some extra cash and build a legacy for my kids. So that's really how it started. Like I wanted to be able to build up some side income to achieve financial freedom faster. So my very first book kind of encouraged me to kind of jump on it. Was like many other people, Robert Kiyosaki's, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then that kind of opened my mind. You know what? I need to learn how to leverage better, use some other people's money to invest. And then I read my first book written by Brendan Turner. He was a big name in Bigger Pocket at the time. So I decided, you know what? I can do this. I can be a landlord. I'll just go buy houses and be a landlord. That's how we ended up buying our first rental houses that we still own today. It was a 4-unit apartment building in Westminster, Maryland.
Well, tell us about that, because that's a great hurdle to overcome, right? Going from the thought process of believing, now having this belief system that I believe I can do this, and then accomplishing it, right? Getting into your first property, and now you can, right? Now you did it. How was that process, and how did it make you feel, the confidence or the struggles? What did you overcome? And you was like, wow, this is my stepping stone. I can continue now. I feel so great.
It's like once you figure out, you can rinse and repeat, right? So it started with, I always know I'm very good with number, as with many Asian people, we're just very good like with number. That's how we were, taught and trained. And I can underwrite things really fast. I buy very creatively and also very risk averse. I don't take a lot of risk. So when I decide to underwrite and buy a property, it will just cash flow on day one, meeting all the contingency that I require, because I don't like to lose money. We Asian don't like to lose money. So I bought that house. I was shopping around, posting on Zillow and all that for a while. It just doesn't quite meet my criteria. And I connect with a lot of realtors. They're just mostly they're looking to serve like a first time home buyer, or it's to buy investment property. It requires another additional layer of thinking, like, because we don't just look at house that look pretty. We're looking for potential. We're looking for the location. We're looking for the job growth, the potential leverage, the rental income you can make in that area. So I'm very good at doing research. I'm very good with the number, but I just couldn't find the deal that I want in Zillow, or I will find something after the fact. So, this will work great, and it's already under contract. So I was like, well, I'm just one step behind. So then what I decided to do is I want the access. So I went and just studied and then got my real estate license in Maryland, knowing that I don't really want to be an agent, but I want the access to the MLS database where all the agent post their deal. So I got that license. I was able to see MLS data right away, fresh data. I set up the filter to tell the system to email me that meet this criteria. So that house literally came, I would say, a month later. It was posted, and I remember I was sleeping in my bed and I had my phone pulled out to look at the comp. And I look at it, wow, this is a location, exactly location I want. And the realtor who posted the deal, it was priced really well. It even meet the 1% rule at the time based on bigger pocket. And I then look at 1% rule, it meet that. Then I look at the potential cash flow, the market rent in the area. They were about $300 below market rent for each unit. And that's a 4-unit apartment. Ooh. So I was like, wow, this is a great deal. I literally, like, my husband is sleeping on my side. I was like, we got to go look at this house tomorrow. So I literally I was doing my bed. I booked the showing time. That's how we booked the showing appointment. And I text the agent, say, I like to look at this house. When can I look at the house first thing? I said, first thing in the morning. So we literally went and looked at that house the first thing in the morning. But then after that, I said, I like this house. I'm going to put in a contract. So I went home. I wrote out the contract. I sent it over. But guess what? Somebody already put in the contract. So they were literally under contract in a day. That's just kind of tell you a lot of time the good deal come and go really fast. You got to be ready to pounce, right? So I was like, dang it. I wrote the contract really fast, but they're already pending on the contract. So I still didn't give it. I said, okay, great. Congratulations. I know you're under contract, but can you I'm a quality buyer and I like this house. I'm literally ready to send you a contract. Can you just keep me on the back pocket? If the contract fell through, I want to be the first call you make. And that's how I got it. The contract fell through after that. The realtor called me, text me, hey, whatever the financial contingency that the first buyer who put in, they didn't get the finance they want. Are you still interested in making an offer? You can send it over now. So I sent it to them and we went on the contract right then and we closed like 30 days later. That's how I got my first apartment building.
I love that because what I learned about that was your resourcefulness to become an agent, right? And then you have these skill sets of underwriting, right? And your speed, right? Even though someone beat you, right? You just was still quick to the trigger. And then not only that, but the follow-up was like, let me stay present in this person's mind. If for some reason this doesn't happen, I can be your answer, right? So your confidence to be able to hang in there and say, hey, I'm here if you need me, even though I'm in second place right now, but I'm right.
We're in the corner. I'm waiting.
You're right here. And you can't determine anything that happens, but you're prepared, right? So you put yourself in position. So I love that, how you were able to create that. And it says a lot about you, right? Kind of how you stick to it and how you follow up. So kudos to you. And so you're able to get this deal. And so can you tell us a little bit of do you still have it, or how did it work out when you first
I still have it. It's still a great asset for us because we bought it at the time. We didn't know creative financing. We kind of just bought it creatively. I basically put down traditional 25% off. Ouch. Yeah, no, that's a lot of money. So it was a 25% off, residential loan, because the 4-unit is still considered residential loan. So at the time we put down, 120 plus some closing costs, is $125K all in. At the time that they were selling it for a little over $400K, I think 450. That's the price, 425 in that range. But on day one, when we bought the house, right, we had to let go one of the tenant because she was just not paying on time, and she was doing a lot of trouble, like painting the house in a weird color, and like just do whatever she wants. And so we came in, we kind of have a little talk with other tenant, and the other 3-unit we retain them. They're good paying tenant. And then we just kind of have to replace this person because we come in, we say, hey, we need to sign a new lease with all of you. I know the previous owner kind of just let you do whatever, and there's no verbal, written agreement. So we signed a new lease. We explain all the rule, and we fix a couple of things that need to be fixed that the previous landlord didn't fix. And then we just come in. We want to operate as a quality housing provider. We want to provide quality housing. We don't want to be a slum law. So we come in and fix out the house, and then replace the tenant pool as they move out and continue to upgrade the house. Now that house is making me almost $7,000 a month gross rental income, while my monthly mortgage obligation is only $2,500. So I'm never selling the house because that would become probably when I'm ready to retire or when my kids go to college, that will probably cash out, and then that will be their college fund or whatever the business they want to start.
Yeah, that's what I call like an anchor home, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's
That's
your first, and then you have sentimental value in that too, as well, right? That's your very first rental houses that is performing really well. Why would we sell them? I'm a long time buy and hold investor. Once I might buy it, it's in a nice area, I will just hold it forever.
Yeah, it's a great strategy. Like I said, you have a long-term horizon, so there's no need to be short-sighted and think about let's make some money now and get about. You have kids as well, so you're thinking of the big picture,
Big picture,
and
yeah.
and it's cash flowing well, right? So it's just gonna get better and better as the house depreciates, and you know what I'm saying. So your money was well invested, your hard efforts were well invested, and you took that chance and you believed and you did it, right? So
Right.
now that you've had this belief systems, let's get into what I call the pits of hell, right? Where have been some struggles that you've had, right? Being in a real estate investor now, and what were the lessons you learned? You have anything in particular? You'd be like, man, this was tough, and why did I do this? But this is what I
Uh-huh.
learned. So other people
Right.
as well.
So I can share the house that we recently acquired. It's a creative deal, and it's in the Virginia Beach. It was the first, like I said in the beginning, I'm a very risk averse investor. I like to bike in my backyard because I'm a control freak. I just like to go check on the house and make sure things work well. And then when they're so close, that's also a double-edged sword, right? It's so close, you want to do it yourself. You want to fix everything yourself
Yeah.
because it's right over there. So, and this all started with my husband understand me so well. He's like, well, dear, why don't you let go of your control a little bit? Try to buy outside your backyard, because he's trying to say, like, you know, you keep talking about doing something uncomfortable. That's how you grow, like growing pain, right? So like it was like, all right, okay, I can try that. So my first creative deal, it was actually outside our driving distance. It's not too far, but it's still like a 3-hour drive away. So that's far enough that I cannot just pop in whenever I want. I have to be even more creative, work with people on the ground, right? So that house we bought creatively is a sub 2 straight VA loan, took over sub 2 and, saved the owner from pre-foreclosure and turned that into a rental house. So the picture looks decent when you see it in the picture, because I didn't really go over there and see the house. So we closed on it. We show up and we realized it was a house that was infested with German roaches. I don't know if you know about German roaches. If you Google German roaches, it's a pretty scary thing. They're literally just like infestation, like really bad for the entire house. That it was behind the wall, it's under the floor, it was just on any pipe that you could possibly think, any outlet. It was pretty terrible. So we were like, oh crap, we might have just bite into something that more than we can chew. So we literally pull out our truck. Two of my boys in the truck, they're about to, yeah, we just bought that house. They're really excited, running to the house. And then my husband saw that. I was like, no, you guys get away in the truck. So that was the day when we just start, we have to send in a cleaner right away to deep clean the entire house and just call exterminator and put this on the treatment things for almost, like, I would say it took us about 3-4 months to clear that out completely. So that's like immediately 3-4 months of and a vacancy that you cannot rent out right away because you have to clear out. I cannot put anybody in. It had to be clear out. So that's something that I learned from it. Now, I will have to make sure, even though the house has been inspected, we have an inspection report that didn't say anything about infestation, but it still show up. So I was thinking, next one, I'm going to not just ask for one inspector, I'm going to ask for 2. Sure, that's another $500-$600 for me, but it will be something that I can help another set of eyes to look at it more thoroughly so I can budget in. Because that was the expenses that we didn't budget in. We didn't expect that to be a house that was infested, covered with like German roaches.
It's like a car mechanic or a lawyer that you entrust, that they have your best interest at heart, like an inspector. Right. And then you say to yourself, wow, how did you not notice this?
I know, but that's what it is. Like, when you run a business, there's always going to be surprises. You can have the best intention to hire a professional, but even sometimes professional, they drop the ball. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll hire another professional. At least that's a second layer of, fresh set of eyes. If they both fail, then maybe it's just meant to be. You have to just roll with the punches, right? We
Yeah.
deal with the surprises, roll with the punches. That's why I buy very conservatively. Usually when I buy houses, I factor in at least 3 months of like vacancy, contingency, and I budget in some potential what if. Like, if I look at the house, like, well, the window looks bad, the AC looks old, I just kind of budget in that will probably need to be replaced soon. So you kind of factor that in, right? It's all about, you try to do the best as you can, but you have to have an attitude to just kind of deal with the surprise and just adapt as you go.
Yeah, I call us real estate investors problem solvers. Some call us
Right,
real
we
estate
are.
investors. I call us problem solvers. And you say to yourself, one problem solved, where's the next one, right?
Right.
You sniffing around. I see you're around here somewhere, right?
I
And that's
know.
kind
It's
of,
like, are you gonna hit me next? Where's next? Like,
right? That's kind of what it
right,
is, right? But the
right.
fancy word is not fancy, but it's what it is, right? Real estate investor. But at the end of the day, you're a problem solver.
It's a
And
problem
the
solver.
majority
Yes.
is like with tenancies, like the right tenant profile, the karma of a tenant, right? If you have multiple tenants, all this stuff you kind of have to take on yourself. If again, you're close to where your units are. So,
Right. I
eventually,
used to just call my crew, right? Call the cleaner, call the plumber. I have all the crew. So that's another thing I learned from buying a little bit outside my backyard. It does take time to build your crew. Luckily, we're in SIP 2, so I immediately connect with Heather, who's also in SIP 2. She's very active investing in that area. So I actually tap into a lot of resources that she gave me, like her cleaner, her plumber. I'm still using the plumber that she gave me. They're great quality work plumber and very reasonably priced. So it just kind of tell you, like, not just buying right, you also need to be out there doing networking to connect with the white people in that market. It's so very important. If you don't have that, I would think twice about diving into a brand new market, because it takes time to build up your contingency plan. So we decided to go with that. Is the large reason because I already know a few investor who's very active in that market, and I know I can hire them to help me, and they can stop by the house on behalf of me, and I'll pay them fee to do that. So
great. I love that. You gave a great segue. You mentioned Sub2. Can you tell us what Sub2 is, right? It's an incredible investing community. And what
right.
does it mean? And what has being in this real estate community been able to help you in your business? And you also help others as well, because it's amazing.
Correct. Yeah, so Sub2 is actually subject to. It's a way of buying real estate subject to the existing loan. Think about buying a cell phone, right? If you're buying the cell phone, like, if you kind of go to your friend, hey, I like your iPhone. You already have a plan with the Verizon, but I like your phone. Can I just get your phone and take over your Verizon bill and pay it for you, and I own your phone? It's as simple as that. So when you buy houses, you can buy houses subject to existing loan. You basically took over the loan that the owner currently had with the bank that they had when they first bought the house. Their mortgage, you took over the mortgage and pay the mortgage for them, and the deed was transferred to your name, so you're still a legal owner for that. So that's how we buy houses. That bypass a lot of regular financing requirements. I don't have to go to the bank to get them qualify me, ask me all my paycheck or my document, right? Basically, I already have a loan. This is a loan that I took over from the current owner, so subject to the existing loan. Sub2.
Yeah. It's a great community. There's so many goal givers, so many people willing to help. As you just mentioned, you said Heather was able to help you in situations as well. And it's all the things, all the incredible things that happen when you join a like-minded community, especially in real estate. It's the best real estate community on earth. So if you're an investor, or you're looking to invest, or you're thinking about, this is what I want to do and I have some time, or you just really want to do something, I think subject to community is the best. So get in there when possible, because you won't regret it.
I know, hands down the best. I've spent, a good amount of money on different type of mentorship, and some money were just kind of spent and didn't really produce any food. And this is the best membership, the best money I ever spent in terms of like helping me build my rental portfolio and real estate business.
Awesome. I love that. And also, as you can see in my hat, Shinyi is also part of another exclusive group part of Pace Morby's Owners Club. It's an ultra exclusive club. So can you tell us a little about how Owners Club is for you and the experience? You're now in year 2. Can you expound on how that has impacted you as well in your professional and personal life as well?
Absolutely. So I am a person who usually like to work behind the scene. I don't like to tell people what I do. We Asian are cagey. We don't like to tell the world, what we do. We're just kind of behind the scene doing the work, right? Joining Owners Club has been a mind shift for me to start putting myself out there more, because I realized that I actually have a lot to contribute. I have a lot of skill. I can help other people. But the problem is if I'm just hiding behind the scene, there's nobody knows what you're good at, right? So I start running a local meetup. I start encourage conversation, encourage networking opportunity, create an environment that everybody can just come and talk safely about the deal and trade idea and find a potential partner. This would not have happened without being in Owners Club and kind of see how people progress to learn and, become more active on social media. Like if you ask me, like maybe a year ago, I have like friends, probably like less than 700 friends on Facebook. They are really my friend. I don't just friend stranger. Like they have to be really my friend to be in my Facebook place. But now I kind of grow out of that because I now know a lot of investor friends. They're still my friend, but my friend base has grown, substantially. And now I around the local meetup that also build out a lot of, partnership within this Maryland DMV area, like Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. So I constantly invite some speaker come to my meetup to speak. I also go to other people's meetup to speak and promote their meetup. Through doing that, I do receive more opportunity come to my, my desk so I can look at the deal. And in fact, currently we're actually about to break ground to build a first ground-up construction for our, short-term rental houses in West Virginia. And the builder I found, and I switched the builder 3 times already. And this was the builder I found through my meetup. She came to my meetup. We just kind of hit it off and started talking. I then fact check her, she checked me, and then we decided, let's do this project together. That's just the power of, networking, knowing the people, finding the right people to do the work with you. It's been fun.
I love you. Again, it's amazing how you connect with people, right? You put yourself out there, you take a chance, and the magic happens, right?
Correct.
Let's talk about, I call the makings of a hero. This is where we forecast where you want to be, your Mount Everest. What is it that you're trying to accomplish in the real estate space in the next 3 to 5 years? And you just mentioned something, congratulations on the ground up. I'm sure that's part of your vision as well. So tell us a little about what's going on.
Yeah, so it will be 8-frame houses in West Virginia in a destination town just right side of the National Forest. So that's where a lot of DC yappy hikers like to go and hike and backpacking over there. It's a very exclusive area that it has its own following basically. So this house is ideally sitting within the National Forest boundary. You actually have to go through the gate to get into that area. And the part of the challenge that I had was it was in the middle of nowhere. So it's hard to find quality tradesmen. I have to switch out the builder 3 times because of that. So I ended up connect with this lady who came to my meetup. So she actually going to truck in her entire crew to help me build this from ground up. We've been talking about the design drawing. We're about to finalize engineering drawing and then the financing already in place. So we're just ready to get going. Hopefully, fingers crossed, starting next month. And I will be documenting that on my social media channel, Instagram as well. Just kind of document from day one until it's finished. Let's see how long it takes. Because people say when you try to build your first ground-up construction, if you say you're going to build in 2 months, that's double that to start. So let's see if we can beat that record. That's what I'm shooting for. Yeah.
That's awesome. So again, now that's projects you got going on. Is that something you want to continue to grow into? That's part of your Mount Everest, let's say, that you want to do?
Yeah, my Mount Everest will be kind of moving into go out from a single family space to a commercial space. So I like to be able to get into apartment building and mobile home park. So I'm actually actively underwriting and calling broker and sending out LOI because I wanted to be able to buy my first commercial asset this year. I'm kind of being played in a bigger league to see where it goes, because I can see a lot of the skill I acquired so far, including underwriting, managing contractor, doing value add opportunity, and also like improve the asset. I've acquired that throughout the year, and it would be fun to kind of double, triple, quadruple that. So like doing 4 unit is fun, but wouldn't it be more fun doing like 40 units, 80 unit, 100 unit? Because it's really exactly the same thing, but now you get to have a better negotiation power, more buying power, because you're not negotiating just for 4 door, you're negotiating for like 100 door. So that would be really fun. My idea is to try to get into that, and finding the right partner about financially similar to where we are, so we can all partner up together to be a co-GP together on a bigger deal.
Incredible. I love that. It's sweet. I love women in real estate. It's kind of a space that's male dominant, and my mom was a real estate investor, so immigrant women investors totally resonate with me. Like I said, I'm super supportive of that. Congratulations to you and your family. Shinyi, what is it you like to leave the audience? A word of encouragement or something, somewhere they want to start off and where they can lean on, leave us with some encouraging words.
Yeah. So I will kind of share the two quotes that I kind of found it resonate with me the most in the last 2 years. So, like you just mentioned, right, being a woman entrepreneur in the real estate space it's already pretty rare, because it's an industry that's filled with overloaded with a lot of testosterone. So we're already not many, right? So, we have our place. We just have to show the world. And I remind myself every day, like, just trying to do something that make you uncomfortable, because that's all the process. As you go through the uncomfortable thing, come on the other end, you just feel well accomplished. Oh my God, I thought I was impossible, but now I did it. What's next, right? And then the magic you're looking for is always in the work that you're avoiding. I still have to remind myself every day, just say, hey, I don't really want to do that, but I know that's the right thing to do. You know what? Maybe that's just the right thing to do. Just have to go and do it.
Sweet. Where can people connect with you? People have leads or just want to be part of your circle, where they can connect with you?
They can find me on Instagram. My full name, Shinyi Telcher, literally just at Instagram, Shinyi Telcher, and also my YouTube channel saying Shinyi Telcher. I just started, so I'm getting there. My plan is to start posting some, tips and tricks that I'm good at, and in terms of like how to underwrite deal quickly, how to buy conservatively, and just a daily stuff. I'm gonna start posting. I'm posting a lot of useful tip on Instagram about how for example, one of the most recent one, how I screen tenant, and why I love doing phone screening before I set up the showing. And I'm gonna post a couple more shorts here and there to do how I underwrite deal quickly, like a necking underwrite. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
welcome
reach
to
out.
the space. It's awesome that you taking that chance on yourself to get uncomfortable and fight through the turbulence. And the magic is the work that you avoid. So you're doing the work, and the magic shall appear. Thank you again for coming on. We appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.